happens sometimes, Tony. I mean, what can you do, right?
Too many times.
I mean, it's hard to watch the comments and do your intro and all of that, so.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I always got to give my mic check. You know, always see the old head down. That's always checking to make sure that red light's not blinking. If the red light's blinking, there's trouble, you know. That's trouble. All right, tonight we're going early here. The first game on the board from college basketball, I believe it is. No, there is some little small colleges, but this is the first major game on the board here. 6:30 Eastern time has Penn State here in Big Ten play hosting State. That's right. You see Penn State favorite here. Things are changing a little bit in the Big Ten. Penn State laying 4 total 136.
Yeah, and this is going to be the only meeting here between these two teams this season. So you got a Michigan State team that's 3-6 on the road against the spread versus Penn State 5-2-1 against the spread here so far this season. So we know Michigan State, they're kind of off a bad loss to Notre Dame and Northwestern. But there has been a lot of, cross-country trips for them, a couple of injuries. But on the other hand, this Penn State team is pretty well, rested after its, double overtime loss there to Clemson. But yeah, I mean, Penn State, though, they've been kind of on fire, shooting 40%, from three. Michigan State lacks, I think, a little bit of depth here on, defense. And they kind of have this inability to protect the ball, right? They kind of tend to have a lot of turnovers as well. I just kind of think that, with a little bit of that leaky defense, they're going to probably allow Penn State here, to be on the ball here in this one. Penn State, they average 77 points a game, 74 points per game if you take a look at their rolling average. Michigan State, on the other hand, they're usually at about 67.8. So I know that this total has, ticked up a little bit here since I started. It was at, I think, 132, then moved to 134, now up to, looks like 136. I have this one, though, actually at about 142, 143 here. I'm going to take over the total today, Tony.
All right, Mindy says go over total here at Michigan State and Penn State over 136. Where's this Izzo defense? And we've seen their defense from the road for the Spartans, giving up 50% on the road, 42% from three. We thought that this really tough non-conference schedule was going to really toughen up this team, but so far, they've struggled here out of the gate here in that game at Northwestern, defending on the road. We know that Coach Izzo, he doesn't like to use the transfer portal. He says I'm a loyal guy. I bring in my recruits. I'm going to play them.
Right, I don't blame him for that, right? I mean, I think there's a lot to be said, about loyalty. I think that's fleeting from from the past here. I don't think that we think about that anymore. But I always kind of prefer that loyalty. I think you really get the guys that want to play for you. But then of course sometimes maybe you suffer a little bit on talent. But I think there is a fine line there that you can do both. But if I take a look at it here, with both of these teams have these high efficiency numbers. Even though Michigan State hasn't been putting up quite the amount of points this season that Penn State has. And again, Michigan State has the worst defense of these two. The over is also 6-1 in the Spartans' last 7 overall. And they're kind of the ones that I'm a little bit worried about on, being able to knock this total here a little bit over. They're the ones that have been the over team here this season. But if I take a look at Penn State, if you have them score over 100 points, their next game out, they're 4-0-1 to the over there as well. Also, Michigan State, I know we don't have a big number of games here, sample size this season, but Michigan State's also 5-2 to the over in night games, and I'll say 5:30 p.m. So I'll say it's night for me.
Yep, it's night there, 6:30 East. Yeah, that's right. That is 6:30 in East Lansing. They're Eastern time, so that's a night game for them. But yeah, at least you're getting points from Michigan State. They've averaged 70 or greater in all but one game. That was the loss actually that was a loss to Gonzaga. But that was on that aircraft carrier with the wind blowing. So that you got to kind of scratch that off there. I don't wonder a thing like that in your data. You should really. I don't even know if you would include that even in your spreadsheet when you kind of factor this team up, because that was kind of a weird element there in that game.
That's true. And that's why, I do everything based off of a rolling average as well. So that game is already out of my, data. I do keep, two scoring scenarios, right? I do everything based off of, season long total. So that one's going to be in there. But they also have to pass the second test too, and that's that rolling average. So I take a look over the last 3 games here. And so I think even with both of those scenarios in there, one with a windy night game on an aircraft carrier, I still think we can go ahead and get over the total here.
They've given up over 70 in all but one game with that
Right.
Michigan State team. They've been on the loss column in the last two. With here on the road here, we got Mindy here, Michigan State, Penn State over 136. This one will have a start time here of 6:30 Eastern time on Fox 1. All right, Mindy, let's take a look over at Tony's picks for tonight's action. Great results in the NHL, 1,855 units of profit here. We got the NHL action up there on the board as well as NBA. Good college basketball card as well. What do you have going over at Tony's picks?
Yeah, so been seeing the card really well on the ice. Like you said, look at 1855 over the last 30 days. So I will be having 2 games on the ice today, so you can check those out. I have one of those as a best bet. And then also, if you take a look at the NBA, I was, 15-6 this week, plus 820 units. Do have 3 plays in the NBA. So I went ahead and packaged that up as a 3-play or a 3-pack. And then I also went ahead and put those with those hockey games there as well. So there is a nice 5-pack for you if you're interested in all of my games on the ice and in the NBA. And then we'll also be in action here in college basketball pretty heavily, about 10 games. I think I have a split between sides and totals there, 5 and 5 each. Again, if you take a look at some of my late schemes I've put in for college basketball, I'm 22-14 there, plus 645 units. And of course, I'm half of that morning steam team where we keep on talking about our winning record there in college basketball. We're 16-5. Ramon pointed out on the totals that we play over there. So we're kind of clicking in all cylinders. We're plus 1,050 units also there for the morning steam. So, I like to put that into my record as well because it's all picks that we're making. So yeah, I think you should feel, confident with me in the packages and picks I put together for you. So you can, of course, get, a game pick or a game pass here for today. But really take a look at the long term. This is where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck, where you're going to make your profits. You get those, low values of, per pick. To maximize the profit per play. So go ahead and pick up one of those longer terms, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day. And then you can also use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save you some more bucks to put that back in your pocket to beat the bookies here today.
That's right, boys. Mindy Hahne over at Tony's Picks. Now we have looking here at the past 7 days. Now we're going to actually get this customized where we can actually do a date search, but right now we have 7/30 in 2022. But if you look at the 7-day numbers here from Mindy, she's been really doing well in the NBA. 15 here and 6. 820 units of profit over the last 7 days in the NBA. So she's been doing great work here. We did flash the numbers here for you here for the past 30 days here in NHL. It's been on fire as well as in showing profit in NBA. But again, that 7-day pass, that 7-day, I should say 7-day number is fantastic here in the NBA with Mindy. So get on board right now with Mindy Hahne over at Tony's Picks. Yeah, so she's got plays up there for you for today. And we've got that college basketball early tip, a 7-pack from you. Also a 5-pack mixing some college hoops and college basketball. NCAAB college basketball bookie buster 3-pack up there. We've got 5-packs up there. So lots of action tonight from Mindy. Also the best bet in from the NHL. A best bet from college hoops, a best bet here from the NBA. So if you're looking for big game hunting, there you go with those best bets from Mindy. But again, the best value to do is to get it with a longer term pass. You may consider getting that 1-week pass from Mindy, get all of Mindy's premium plays for 7 days. Or I think the better value is get that 1-month all sports pass, because what you get with that 1-month pass is you get all of Mindy's bowl package here for that 1 month. Because right now we get all 41 bowls. This will run you to do January 6th. So all of the bowl games are in action here with that 1 month all sports pass. Of course, include all of Mindy's NBA, all of her college hoops, as well as NHL, NFL. As part of that 1 month all sports pass, you can use that promo code TonyT at checkout, and you will save 20% off. You can access Mindy's page by clicking the link you see in the description, clicking the All Cappers tab. And when you land, you'll land right on Mindy's page, and that's where you'll be able to get on board with Mindy's passes there over at Tony's Picks. So really good value there when you get Mindy's 1 month all sports pass. Great value there, so go ahead and get signed up. Mindy, we also put together a Twitter account for you over at Tony's Picks Mindy, and of course the morning steam with you and Ramon every day. I'm sorry, Saturday through Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern time.
Almost every day, right? Almost every day. But yeah, I'll have another play on the Twitter account here today in the NBA. So you could go ahead and check that out right now. Just go to Twitter, do Mindy's Tony's Picks Mindy, and then click the follow button, and then you can click on the little bell to make sure you get the notifications on every single play that I put out. And again, there's nothing else on there but plays. So this is the one where you don't have to worry about any junk. You can feel real confident by clicking that bell that you're not going to get anything else, no ads, no nothing. You'll just get picks. And then also you can catch me and Ramon in the morning, like Tony said, Saturday through Thursday, 8 a.m. Central Time, where we go over the full NBA and the full NHL card. And then we also usually do about 5 picks or so for college basketball, depending on, what the matchups look like. We want to make sure we give you all of the prime time games, those that are featured on TV. So yeah, we wound up having a couple plays here, so you can make sure you go check out the Morning Steam replay, and you can get all of those picks. Again, we had quite a few folks in the chat. We're getting more and more new people. We love it. They like how we break down the games. They like how Ramon goes through the Morning Steam. What he does is he puts out about 3 a.m. He puts out those initial lines, and then we kind of get to take a look at how those have evolved over the early hours of the day by the time we get to that show, to make sure we get you the best lines. And then we even have folks that are on their phones betting real time, giving us updated numbers on their sites as well. So it's very educational. The folks come with all of their data. I mean, they're really putting in the work to make sure that we get the best consensus picks out there. And again, those are all free if you check out our videos, but also we repackage those on the Tony's, Picks website, where if you ever miss a day or whatever, you can pick those up relatively cheap, so you don't miss out on any of the action or the profit that we're putting out there on a daily basis. So yeah, we're having a good time. Hope you guys check us out.
Now check out Mindy and Ramon with that morning steam. I know this is kind of the afternoon, and those of you who are coming home from work, you can listen to the show on our podcast. Every pick, every show in podcast form at Tony's Picks Podcast, available on major platforms. Just search Tony's Picks, and of course, in your favorite platform, and find the morning steam. We have the entire morning steam, the show in its entirety, so you can listen to Ramon and Mindy's breakdown for today's card up there, NBA, NHL, as well as college basketball. Take a listen. There are a lot of shows they'll do look-aheads with football as well. A lot of football action in college today, but a lot of good stuff there for Mindy and Ramon in the mornings. But again, on your drive home, take a listen in podcast form there. And of course, be sure to check out Mindy on her Twitter account we put together for her at Tony's Picks Mindy. And of course, the Morning Steam, you can find that account at tonyspicks.com. The consensus plays from Mindy and Ramon. If you don't have time in the mornings to check it, or you just want to do a quick purchase, you can check them out at that account as well. But check out Mindy, who's been on fire right now over in the NBA as well as NHL. Get signed up. She's got a lot of action going today. That 1 month pass is a great value there. All right, Mindy, as always, great having you on the show. Keep up the great work. Hope you had a great birthday yesterday, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
I did. It was amazing. I think I'm still full from all of my, food and cake and drink. So yes, it was a very good time, and thanks everyone for the birthday wishes.
Absolutely. Mindy Hahne here on Game Day Picks. All right, guys, you're with us here Monday through Friday with Game Day Picks at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you like, subscribe, and set notifications. We want you guys live with us to get the picks in real time and to get notified so you can join us here in the chat room, and you can remind me to get sound like our man Thomas Kingston. Thank you for that reminder. I wish I was looking at the comments. I would have had the sound up, but let's continue on here on the show. By the way, they have a really good chat audience in that morning show. As Mindy is saying, a lot of interaction with the chat room and the show, and it means that the contributors in the chat really come prepared with a lot of good information with their picks. It's really impressive there when you look at the show, the way Ramon and Mindy has structured it, to have that true interaction of information between between audience and host. It's pretty impressive to check out. All right, let's continue on here on the shows. Welcome in Ramon Scott. You'll find him over at Tony Six. Ramon, what's happening?